Now that we've created our menu worksheet, let's try and create the first, let's create a new worksheet. Right, and this would be more like our sample worksheet that we are going to replicate for others. So I'm just going to rename it to sample. So we create one. Remember how many worksheet do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to create one and replicate it for others, because based on our financial modeling standard, it's saying your model must always follow the same structure. So to get started, I'd like to collapse this first three column, ABC column. I like collapsing it. And why is that? It's just for me to be able to create a good title. So I'm saying this will be my heading 1, right? The second column will be my heading 2, right? And the third one will be my heading 3. It's just me trying to make things look good, all right? So that's what this is all about. That's why I'm collapsing that. So let's get started with our company name. So equal to, I can just link that to the company name that I've created here, right? And press enter. Now, let me even introduce you to what we call naming range in Excel. So each cell in Excel has their specific address. So, for example, come here, if you click here and you look inside this your name box, you see that it's telling me I'm in column D and row 6, which is that's D6. Now, Excel is so interesting that you can now rename the address of this cell. So currently it's showing D6, so I can come in here inside where I have this my D6, click on it once and type C, maybe let's just call it company. Just type the name so and press enter, which means what I've done is I've changed the name from D6 to this company. So which means if I go to any cell in this my current workbook, right, and I type equal to company, right, in fact to bring out the name and press enter, it will give me the same thing that I have inside this cell. That, remember, that was D6 and I've named it to company. So that's how that naming range work in Excel. So instead of saying menu D6, I'll just type equal to company, right, and I'll press my enter and it will bring out the name that I have there. So let me make this 12 font. Let me change the color, right? I can make it bold, and let's say this is our worksheet name. So let me just call this sample. Then I'll make this maybe just something like red. You can be creative with your own color, right? So that's what we have here. Then down here, let me call this, we're going to have a description here. Just want to create a model template. Then here will be units. So let me align it to the right. Then here will be input. Let me align it to the right as well. All right, so here, let's just say, okay, so for here, let's say we are going to have our row total here as well. So for this place, we're going to have our period start. So let's create our period start and our period end. So we're going to create that here. We're just trying to create our layout. So let me reduce this a little bit, right, so that we have this. So I can increase this column D a little bit, right? So here I can even, so we can put our model balance check here. So we're going to put that later. Then here, let's call this model life scenario. So let's just create those ones there. So the next thing is for us to go ahead and link our dates. So let me reduce this our first column. So I'm just trying to make things look good. So whenever you are building your model must always have a base period. So your base period is the same thing as your year 0 or the last historical year for the business. So for the menu, we need to start with the period end, and I'll type equal to, go to my inputs where we have this our model start period, right, and I'll press my enter. So let me Control Shift 3 will give us the date. So remember, this is end, right? So January, which means January minus 1 give us 31st of December. So I can just put -1 inside there. Then I have this as December. Then my period start will now be equal to my previous year ending date right, plus 1. So I control shift 3 to turn back into date, or you can go to this formatting and select date there. So now to get my period end date, there's a formula that we use, call it equal to e-date, and e-date kind of returns the serial number of the date that is indicated uh, number of months before or after the start date. So e-date, I'll double click it, open a bracket, the bracket will open immediately. I double click it. What is my start date? So this is my start date, comma, and what's the number of months? So 12, right? So we could decide to type 12 like this, but our financial modeling standard is saying, hey, this is not good. Since you have it typed somewhere, you can just come here, click on this 12 months. Remember, because we are going to drag it for other years, so we are going to use our absolute lock, right? Your F4, just press it once, or FN, so $D, uh, 13, close the bracket, enter, Control Shift 3. Now remember, this is end date, right? So which means I'll need to also now put -1 to give us the end date. And with this, I can just copy the formula for other years. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You are forecasting for 5 years. And we have this. So let me extract the year so that we can have the dates and the years. So equal to do that, I just type year function, double click it, select the start date, close the bracket, enter, and I can format this. So remember our formatting, Control 1, and click on this 0. So I just want it to have financial, F on the front, which represents financial, the F at the back represents forecasts. I'll click on OK so that it appears like this. I'll copy this. Then we have our respective years. So we're building our model template, right? And for this, I can just highlight everything here and put it under our explanatory design, right? So let me also highlight it and put a tick border. So let's just have it's just we're trying to make things look good, right? So here, all right, and I can remove, I don't really like the grid line whenever I'm building my my model. All right, so let me come here to my view tab and untick the grid line so that's kind of look like this, right? Right, so let's increase our heading so that it's a little bit obvious. Okay, so I think 16 is good, right? This is the title of the worksheet, so let's put that as font 12, and these other ones, in fact, we can even reduce this one to 10.5, right? It depends on you, so 10.5. So just to reduce that, so we have this, we have this. So in case you like working with colors, you can decide to put some interesting colors in your own. So let me do an example here. Let me just put it with this light sky blue. If you prefer, you can cover your everything with colors and everything, but I think I prefer this. Right, so now if you scroll up, you can see now that uh, while we want to scroll up, we want to keep everything we have from row 1 down to row 6, right? So that even if you scroll down, you can still be seeing that year headings. So to do that, I'll bring my mouse, I'll just select this row 7, select the entire row, then I'll go to my view tab. Under my view tab, you'll see this freeze panel. So click on the down option and click on the first one. So freeze panels. And you see to draw this line for you. So if I scroll down, you see that these headings, they remain constant. They remain constant, right? So the other thing we need to do is let's also create a menu. So I'm going to call this a menu here. I'm going to create a menu here so that it can be easy for them to navigate from here to the table of content, right? And we're going to create an hyperlink for that. So to do that, click on it. You can right click and select this link. So immediately you select this link, to ask you insert hyperlink. So what we want is when someone click on that menu, just take them straight to that menu page worksheet for them to view the table of content. So here you can see it comes straight to your existing file, but we want to place in this document. and it's asking you for which worksheet. So we want you to go straight to the menu worksheet, right? Type the cell reference in case maybe you want it to go to this particular cell A2 or B3. You can type that here and just click on your OK. So immediately you click on that, you're OK. All right, look at what happened. It just turned it to a hyperlink. So when I click on this guy, it automatically brings me to my menu worksheet. So now that we've created this, let's now see how we can replicate this for other worksheets.